with the Veno likely going mid for no tail, and you just spamming Plague Lords and being annoying. So we will see, but I expect Wings to be very aggressive with the support duo. Either that or just dual roaming constantly.
Well, we get another hero added to the pool. I'm almost certain Venomancer has not been picked yet so far in TI, and I'm very excited to see it being played by none other than No Tail, grabbing that hero and heading down to the bottom lane right now. But we're getting into the player introductions, and we'll go through both lineups as Wings. Young team, 17-year-old from Innocence, 20-year-old from Ice, so a bit of a young squad. Not to say that OG is a bit older, but they do have young players in their own right, including Miracle.
They might be young, but they play with veteran poise.
They really do.
Sure, they've had their clowny games, but they've also clutched some games that looked completely over.
Yeah.
And in recent history, too.
I mean, I think the average age there was like 18 to 20 or something like that. But yeah, on the other side, I mean,
definitely a lot more experience on OG coming from Fly and No Tail. These guys have been around the block.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not that old, but they have been playing competitively for I think like 5-6 years now, if you include their Han experience.
It's really
as well.
surprising. They're only 22 and 23. I thought they might be a little bit older than that. And Moon's actually the oldest one. It looks
That's
like
true. Moon has been around the block.
Yeah, he's a bit older. He's played, of course, his fair share of Dota and Dota type games, so we'll see what impact he has, of course, in this game, playing none other than the Faceless Void. So we'll check out how things are going. They get a nice ward up here on the H's stack, as Opus did point out, of course, on the Radiant side, getting some vision there. Looks like the Tinker will grab the bottom rune spot, and top will be grabbed by the Venomancer, and No Tail is going to be that mid hero. I'm a bit afraid for this Venomancer. You get up, if you go for that early like 2-2 build for the Tinker, or even like 2-3, you could die very quickly as a Venomancer. You don't have that much HP, and there's no way to survive an onslaught of laser and heat-seeking missiles from a Tinker. It's just a lot of damage over a short period of time.
Yeah, Tinker is also, if you have quick reactions, you can make some big plays, like baiting out the Void Chrono, blinking out before Huskar's Life Break hits you, and then dragging him quite far away from the fight. So there's some potential for Blink to outplay OG. This first level or two, it should be very easy for him against the Veno, but once the ward gets to level 2, level 3, that's where things do get ugly. Bottom lane, they're looking for the damage on Moon. Okay, so running the safe lane dual lane, they are going to give Huskar free farm, so they know there will be a fast armlet timing. They have Ice already set up to start doing some stacking. So not pressuring the lanes with the Ogre right now, as he will de-ward that Observer.
Yeah,
good job by the Ogre getting rid of that.
I mean,
vision.
we're so used to seeing Ice head into, or any Ogre for that matter, head into the mid lane or any other lane early on and just try to find a kill. And bottom lane, they might have been able to do so with Fire Blast against Moon. Again, it's level 1 time walk. Fortune's at top lane, the Faith Beyond is going to go to work as while bottom there's some trades happening with Moon. The Stormhammer will go, but he's fine. It looks like he'll be able to.
He skilled Fire Blast, not Ignite. Generally, you do see
did he
Ignite
go for the Fire Blast. Yeah, he's got it. You're right.
It's more damage and it allows you to get off more overall
Is Innocence gonna die? Yeah, he bought out.
He used all his mana, so he just suicides to neutrals for the free trip back to the top.
And so Moon now has a bit more room to work with before he TPs back in like a second.
But Moon's out of regen. This is a pretty cool play. You do see support suicide for the free TP, but you rarely see them just spam their mana pull out and then suicide just to get more mana at this stage of the game. But with how cheap TPs are now, it's actually quite cost effective, and you're level 1. It takes no time for you to respawn.
And
so.
No Tail is he's having a very rough time in this mid lane. No Tail currently at 3 CS to the 11 of the Tinker.
It will get easier. Once the wards are high level, doesn't matter if you blind the Veno hero, the wards will do the last hitting for you. But yeah, like I said, the first couple levels are very easy for Blink, and he is taking full advantage of that time in the lane.
Absolutely. We'll wait and see. Assuming No Tail doesn't go down in that period of time. He's level 3 right now, and you can see that Blink is running a little bit low on mana, but he does have level 2 laser and level 1
Courier snipe mid lane.
It's a potential chance as Innocence is going to come through. He's got plenty of range, and one right click will do the job. And on it was a stick and a set of tangos for No Tail. And he's got no more regen with the exception of that Fairy Fire.
Oh man, that's pretty brutal. But level 2 wards, you can just sit back. Blink is out of mana for now, but his bottle is coming out.
Not to mention,
this is a great time to try and roam on No Tail.
He is getting roamed on as we speak, or at least.
But it's very difficult. It's very difficult to gank Veno. With all the wards sitting there, one of them's likely going to hit you first. They slow you down. Cry.
He is level 2 poison thing as well as level 2 wards, so he's starting to get up to that point. Meanwhile, Crit spots out Ice. Not only that, but he spots out the Bat Ride as well. The stomp and hit Faith Beyond. That is a kill, and that is your first blood. But unfortunately, it's not the case. Crit was just off the mark barely, but that's...
He also did not steal any major creep there, so that's a big win for Wings.
That is true. And every little bit helps with this Batrider early on in the game to get you to that early Blink Dagger, and we'll see how things turn out. Again, Miracle as well as, of course, down in that bottom lane Shadow. It's very important these two heroes get free farm, and they are doing so as we speak. You can see Moon is leeching experience, but he's gotten 3 last hits compared to the 6 from the Batrider. He's level 3 compared to that of level 3 for the Batrider, but it's a bit more experience going the way of the Bat at this point in time. TPing mid it is going to be the Batrider. Looks like he's just saying, hey, it's time to jungle. Level 2 Firefly, level 1 Stick and Napalm, I got plenty.
And they're going to give the lane to Ice here. There is a Dire Observer Ward, so they know he's alone, and Fly is going on him.
And he just doesn't have the damage. He needs one more Purifying Flames. He's out of range, and he will get the kill. Fly with just enough range to get that Purifying Flame kill. That was close.
It looked like he was out of it. That was really long.
So that was the longest range Purifying Flames I think I've seen in a while.
Gotta respect the Oracle's damage output, though. It's even just the level 2 Purifying Flames. With such a low cooldown, it's incredibly hard.
All right, No-Tail getting back into it, as you talked about. Now, still level 2, both Plague Wars and Poison Sting, but he's starting to even things up here. We'll see if things can change. And they do have the Courier coming back out as well for No-Tail. There's going to be a Stomp coming through. It's going to hit perfectly. No Venomous Gale. So he really just has to right-click him, and then with the blind, of course, coming at him, means No-Tail immediately has to back up. Forced rotation from the Skywrath. Not only that, but they also had Ice coming in as well.
That's a big win for OG. Crit just ambles on the mid lane, forces 2 heroes to come to support. There's nobody laning top right now. Wings, though, spending a lot of time stacking, but the Ancients are not cooperating. This damn Ancient Black Drake chilling there, preventing the triple stack. So
yeah, that's...
they're running a very, like, jungle-oriented lineup. You're going to see Sven farming Ancients, Tinker farming stacks in his own jungle, as well as he has gone for 2 points of margin, and Batrider who wants to clear them, but being denied stacks or OG having vision / invading the jungle, these are priorities for their draft heading towards the mid game.
Shadow up to 37 last hits right now, and again, like you talked about, the Ancient stacks and just general stacks are going to be very important later on down the road. Offlaner, Faith Beyond is sitting currently at 24 last hits, so that's the power of the jungle, as we've talked about, 800 gold currently. Now, Ice chasing Crit down, or vice versa, I don't know what's going on. There is a ring around the rosy happening, whatever you want to call it. They'll finally meet towards the secret shop and
gives him the club.
He says, here, I'm going to hit you with a little love tap, and you could be on your way. And he'll rotate mid, that's Crit, but there is a ward there. It's an Observer Ward for the Radiant Squad, not to mention a Sentry, so even an Invis Rune is going to be negated, more than likely by Wings, but no real kills other than that Purifying Flames death outplayed by Ice. There's the Godspring's bottom as Shadow will now go to work on taking down this first tower of the game, LD.
And Moon has no ability to stop this on his own. If they want to contest this at all, they will need a support to come in. Not level 6 yet.
He gets Stormhammer.
He has no damage. He has no boots there in the stash right now. But Wings' attention is elsewhere. Smoked up, heading on mid.
They're looking to wrap around. Lasso should not be available, and it is not for the Batrider, but they're going to come in, and No-Tail is in trouble. It's not level 6 yet. He's very close. And look at that damage coming out as they get off the silence. The Ancient Seal amps everything up, and the Firefly burns him very quickly, roasts, and poor Venomancer dies pretty much instantly.
Venom's one of those mids that you don't really care too much if he dies, as he's mainly there for the wards. He can always catch up, farm the jungle if need be. Blink, though, gets stomped in the mid lane. He's going to turn on Crit here. Should be okay.
Yeah.
But really, the OG game plan hinges on Huskar getting fat and then everything around him. Chronosphere to set him up for kills, try to take the tier 1 mid and bottom so they can go grab an Aegis. If Veno has a good start, that's a bonus, but keys are much more getting the Huskar off to a good start, getting levels on Elder Titan and Oracle, and so far OG are accomplishing their game plan. Fly is almost level 6 already in the Oracle, so I think OG are actually overall strategically fine with the way the game's developed. They're still down a bit when it comes to gold, but Wings have a fairly greedy draft. Tinker and Sven need a lot of farm. They need a lot of time before they're fully ready to engage, and OG are still getting the Huskar off to a good start.
It's actually funny, the armlets came out moment for moment on both the Sven as well as the Huskar. Obviously, the Huskar getting it very, not super surprising, but the armlet for the Sven a little bit more uncommon, with the Helm of the Dominator being the general choice. He will take down the tier 1 tower, so again, it's a mirrored matchup between these carry players.
I actually prefer the armlet a lot here because it hits the it suits the Huskar's tempo a lot better. If you go Dominator, you then need at least one more item before you're fighting, probably two, but getting the armlet, he can go directly, he can get lifesteal if he wants from here, but if he's forced to come to fights during this window for the next couple minutes, he actually is a threat. Whereas with the Dominator, you're likely just going to be focused and die right away.
Yeah,
and if he wants to just skip the Dominator entirely, he can go directly into the Echo Saber, the BKB, the Blink, items like this that allow him to actually man-fight a Huskar.
He might need some lifesteal to do these ancients, but then again, with God Strength, it dies so fast anyways that you might not need it.
Just let the Ogre tank. Just throw the beefcake.
I'm sure
he won't even feel pain
not
anyway.
tanky enough, but they are going to smoke up and they're going to wrap, and I think Blink might have spotted this out. And then there's going to be the Chronosphere as Boone comes in. Miracle will come through as well. He's got the Spears, he's got Life Break. They even ulti on Shadow as well, and Crit looking for that Stomp. He's got it ready to go. The Force 10 first. Will hit up, the Stomp will fall up next, and now it actually misses. They get the lasso back out.
And Fly's put out of position. That means Huskar's going to have to be more careful. Miracle does not have his Oracle to keep him alive. That probably ends the push for OG. At least until the Oracle respawns. Miracle very low. That was still a very big kill there on the Tinker, though. He was closing in on the Boots of Travel. I think he spent his gold right before dying, but still it's going to be a ways off. And BOTs are something you really want against this type of draft, just so you can more easily slow down the push. Being able to constantly go back to Fountain, heal up, or regen your mana, and then come back. Pray. That is how you slow down the freight train that is a Huskar siege.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, I do want to point out Moon's Chronosphere was really great. I mean, he got the Tinker on the back end, so Miracle, when he wraps around, he's able to find a nice little easy amount of damage. And here's that exactly what you were talking about, the March. Although it is magical and he's got 3 points of Berserker's Blood, so plenty of resistance for Miracle.
The laser alone will slow this siege.
Yes.
Even if you don't kill Miracle, he's blinded, he will be missing. And the blind is quite a long duration. It's 3 seconds even at level 1. It goes all the way up to 4.5 seconds with a 14-second cooldown. So about a third of the time that the Huskar wants to right-click, he can. And that means, that's, you know, the rest of the time maybe you're lassoing him or stunning him, so you can really limit his siege potential with this.
It's starting to feel like OG really want to push down the Tier 1 tower, but it's not going to happen, and the March is just stalling them completely.
Base Beyond moving in bottom.
And Crit is probably in trouble. They have the lasso ready to go, the Firefly. I don't think he needs to use it, but he will nonetheless. Should be a kill with the Flame Break, and of course there's the stick and napalms to help out as well. Faith Beyond getting up to a killing spree for himself, and pretty nice amount of gold going his way.
I'm going to see Sven working on these Ancients now. One more stack, and he won't get it. Twice now that Ancient Drake has screwed him over.
He needs to just kill that stack so he can get on with another stack, honestly, at this point.
Death to all Drakes.
Yeah, I'd be pretty frustrated. He's going in with it. God Strength armlets up. He's got the Ogre Club. I would not be surprised to see that Echo Saber coming out for Shadow at this point, as you had alluded to, LD. And there it is. He's got the quarterstaff. So yeah, you're right. Right on the money. It's going to be armlet into Echo Saber for that Sven.
If the Huskar gets caught in a bad position and gets hit by like a double Echo Saber auto attack with a laser, and there's not a good armlet toggle or save by Fly or potentially the Void, then they will be able to kill him. They have the damage to do it, but that's the thing is OG have those annoying heroes that can allow Huskar to reset. The Oracle, the Void, even the Elder Titan to some extent. And they also do have the dire advantage here. They're going to move towards the pit, working on the Roshan.
One of the most important things they can do. It's
they don't
a
even
bit
have
early.
BOTs yet on the Tinker. I don't really think Wings can contest.
They might have seen them head over from the ramp up the...
They're just not good at walking in the pit. You have Venom Wars to scout things out. They don't have a hero like Elder Titan to initiate from a safe distance. Batrider can walk in, but they're trying for it.
Miracle is low. Flame Break's going to push him off the cliff. No, Miracle, Firefly. Oh, they get off the false promise in time. The Ignite, Life Breaks down to the low ground. He should still fall, though, here. I think he's taking too much damage. He barely survives the Purifying Flames. Enough of a heal. Fly saving the day. After an immaculate play from Faith Beyond, that was...
Oh my god.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, single-handedly stops the Roche with a Flame Break, though. That is sick stuff there. And this buys time. I think Blink BOTs are flying out now. Here can come to this fight.
Yeah, he's...
OG might actually have a rumble on their hands. I still don't know how good they're going to be around the pit, though. They have to deal with the Venom Wards, the Chronosphere. I still think it's very risky for Wings to take it, but OG have other plans.
Might not be around the pit, LG. They're going to head into the jungle, and OG are looking for that Chronosphere. Fabian's going to walk up, and he's going to get caught. Life break will go. Jumping Chrono onto 2. Fabian lasso is up, but he will fall. They get off the ultimate from No-Tail as well, and it looks like it will be 3 dead. Miracle getting low, but there's the Fate Edict, and Ice Ice about to go down. No-Tail caught by Shadow. Can they deal with this Ven? The laser comes in and Blink with the March. Moon has to escape, and it turns into a 3-for-3 as Wings with Shadow and Tinker alone. They are able to actually help out and even this fight up. Whew.
3-for-3 is fine for Wings. They keep the Tinker and the Sven alive, and they stop OG from roshing. So with Chrono on cooldown now, Wings get a window. They have BOTs. The Sven is quite farmed, so he can go back to clearing out stacks. And I don't think OG can easily take Rosh without a Chrono. It's very risky to walk into the pit. You're basically just banking on Wings not contesting at that point. If they do, quite likely Wings could take the fight. So, I mean, for me, the big thing there was Oracle being out in front. Fly gets caught. I don't think was expecting the Sven to just run in and hit him, but he died in 2 auto attacks. So, positioning will be important for OG, and what helps with that is vision. But they rely on the Elder Titan and the Venom Wards for vision. The wards are okay. They don't have the best vision radiance, but you know, I say they won't go for Rosh. They don't have Chrono, but they're still walking right back in.
Yeah, they really want to take this as early as possible, but this is going to mean that there's pushing happen elsewhere. Shadow's going to work on the Tier 1 tower. And
Beyond is not having this, though. He's like, you want to go for Rosh? Ain't gonna happen. Misses the flame break, though.
Time. It's not as good of a flame break as the first one was from Faith Beyond.
They're wrapping around, though.
Insane. Rosh is low, not dead yet. Sven has picked up that Tier 1 tower, might rotate over to Rosh pit now.
They have no Firefly, though. I think with no Firefly, you can just go.
There it is. Huskar has picked up the Aegis. The concussive shot will go along with an Arcane Bolt or 2, but that should be the end of it. I don't know. They're coming up to the high ground. Potentially Miracle thought about walking up there, but he realizes there's a couple of heroes in the vicinity. They have the Vlads now.
Blink has his namesake now.
He certainly does. That's a huge item for...
He wants to pop this Aegis. This is really tempting.
He's going to go for the laser. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening.
The missiles, it just doesn't do enough damage with the level 4 Berserker's Blood. It's just not enough.
Still, I feel like Wings have really broken the OG tempo here. They're downing gold. Oh, big dump bottom.
They're going to go with the life break it. Now the TPs are going to come through, though. They have Blink coming in. False Promise will come out. They get the stop off, and Blink is in a lot of trouble. Fortune 10 will come through. The blind is still there. The Chrono does hit onto Innocence, but barely, as well as Faith Beyond. Here comes that Earth Splitter. Will it hit on it too? It's just the one, but Faith Beyond is low. Moon in trouble. Ancient Seal is out there, and they're chasing down Innocence, LD.
Might lose Faith Beyond as well. The stomp just a bit short. He dodges out of the blast zone. They are pushing the top lane during this time. God's Strength cooling down in 3 seconds.
So TP's in.
And he wants to slow this down.
He used his tail.
But Ogre's coming back.
Ooh, good ultimate. No tail though. The Echo Saber, he's in trouble. They're going to have a Fire Blast, and there it is.
He needs to get out though. TPs are coming. Void, no Chrono. He's going to have to get a first hit bash. Well, or you could just go for Ice.
That works too. Time dilation there. It's going to slow him down a fair bit, but I don't think Moon alone can do this.
Moon is like a wet noodle right now.
Yeah, he just does. I mean, against Ice with plenty of armor, 13 in fact, is not enough. No way.
I'm not sure about trying to defend bottom in that position. I think the Tinker was expecting that he'd be able to run away in time. A little bit slow to Laser Miracle, so he got a bunch of auto attacks out and was not expecting to get stomped by the Elder Titan. But they still get a kill in the Veno top lane.
Yes.
They lose only the tier 1 for now. This is a window where OG need to get a lot done, though. With being down on gold with a Huskar draft and no real late game, Void, yes, he can scale pretty well, but he's gone for Vlads. He doesn't have all that much farm. And outside of that, the Venomancer, incredibly poor. We're not going to see an Ags anytime soon, so it's not really that carry Veno that can deceptively wipe out your team. It's much more the support Veno that's meant to give vision and keep the Huskar as strong as possible. So I like the way OG are playing after the Aegis, aggressively forcing towers. They know the window is relatively small, and they're trying to take full advantage of it here.
Well, Faith Beyond has picked up his Blank Dagger now, and it looks like they will more than likely get together for some sort of smoke or, I guess, movement. Oh, they have to defend their base at first, though, as the Tier 2 is now getting assaulted with a double damage from Miracle. A lot of damage. And No Tail will help out by throwing some poison.
Especially with all the stats from Armlet, this hurts. But it's going to be forced back now. The Tinker spam. It limits the amount of time you spend hitting tower, even if you don't kill him.
Yeah. And this will go again. He'll toggle nicely just to avoid any significant damage, but yeah, I agree with you on the fact that they're very underfarmed with especially No Tail, but here we go.
I want to point out Shadow saving gold here.
Said True Ward, but that's smoke coming out from Moon, so they don't see him there.
He's got 3,000. I'm wondering what the spend build is.
Thought he would buy Blink, but he's bypassing that for the time being.
So if it's not Blink, it could be a BKB, which is very good this game. For obvious reasons. There's a lot of stuns, there's a lot of magic damage. Other item that we do see against Huskar, Silver Edge. I don't think it's generally the best spend item. And there is now Evasional Miracle to worry about, so I still think it's a possibility. And if anyone's going to do something a bit unconventional, it likely would be Wings.
Yeah. Unconventional is in there.
But if he's going to go for that, I don't think he'll buy any of the... Yeah, there you go. Shadow Blade.
Carl, the Silver Edge will be done in a little while. He still needs, obviously, the Ultimate Orb. Not to mention the recipe as well. There should still be a recipe.
He needs... So after this, he needs BKB...
top tower is under attack.
Sorry, BKB and MKB. That's the spend build here. So then you have a way to deal with all of the magic. Sure, there's a Chrono still, but there's not that much physical damage on OG. It's very limited. Huskar is primarily magic damage until like the late game.
Yeah. Dangerous part about this, but I think Mateo still needs those levels. He still needs that farm, and he's just not there. Whether they need a Midas or something to catch him back up remains to be seen. Agency on Miracle only lasts for a half a moment.
Going deep.
Now he gets lasered. Now he's actually about to lose that Aegis. The False Promise will come through. That's a lot of damage he's dealing with over time. They need more Purifying Flames. And he might fall here. No? Again, he's fine.
Oracle.
He gets Purifying Flame, and then he has like level 2 Inner Vitality. It's more than enough somehow to keep him alive. March is going to miss here. Now the second one will come through. Aegis has been reclaimed, and they will know. Miracle needs to be a bit more careful now. Force
they
forward.
find Eyesight, those stops from crit, a long-range initiation. They look for a lasso.
They're going to find Miracle. Counter initiation, Chrono Spear not there. They can stomp on the moon. He's in trouble, but Fates Beyond. Purifying Flames, Mystic Flare off the mark. Stomp coming through. It hits up beautifully onto 2. Jump in, Moon. Still has that Chrono, but it's going to
Shadow
Eyesight
in here.
Moon, no, goes down to the pure damage of that laser.
They still get 2, though. They lose the Bat Rider as well as the Ogre on the side of Wings. Creep in from Shadow. Shadow was not there when the team wanted to fight. I think they should have just let that tower go, but it still works out okay. They get a Void for a Bat Rider trade. They lose an extra Ogre. Not the end of the world, but I would say OG have to be pretty happy with that Aegis. They get 4 towers out of it. They get the kill advantage. They've completely wiped out the Wings lead.
Yep.
So they have bought themselves some time.
They just, again, they need to find farm on someone other than Miracle. Moon is... With that death, it puts him behind the Venomancer, and he was ahead of him for a fair bit. But look at the net worth graph, dip down. Now in OG's favor for the first time this game, but you talked about it the late game. Not that strong for OG. For Wings, Shadow's going to be a force to be reckoned with, and a Blink, of course.
OG are also not very good at dealing with Tinker.
No.
They don't have Storm, they don't have Bat Rider, even a Nyx. Elder Titan can slightly scout and deal with him. You have Void is okay catch once he gets a Blink Dagger, but it's by no means great. And I think it is a really good Tinker game heading late. So I worry a bit for OG if they have not gotten a lane of racks, or at least forced Wings into a deep economic hole by 30 minutes, then I think they're in trouble. But they will have to next push out, and that's the Aegis to me, where they have to be breaking base or totally bottling the squad up. And I mean, you can already see how confident Blink is. He pushes the top lane into the tier 3 tower. He then jumps into the trees behind the tower and TP's out without any trouble.
He life break, but actually he still gets blasted at the end. I thought he was going to be able to dodge it within.
Oh, man.
Wow, the fire blast and all the damage coming in. Dead Huskar
Shadow,
for 40 seconds.
hunting bottom lane. He wants crit, but crit just walks away.
There was the sentry there that more than likely spotted out the Shadow Blade for the Sven. He actually does not go for the Silver Edge right away. He picks up the Ogre Club. As you mentioned, BKB, a very important item for the Sven in this game, and I think that's what he'll be going for next, I'd have to assume.
The downside with Silver Edge is you got to get into the fight, and with Warcry and Shadowblade, you've decent move speed, but OG they need to keep sentries down, but if they do, he's just got to run in, and they see him coming, they can disengage, they can maybe drop a Chrono on him, so...
No Tail has a Hurricane Pike.
They want to kite the Sven here.
I guess so. That seems interesting.
I think it's just about kiting the Sven.
I mean, and I think it's a fine choice, but he could use his Hurricane Pike right
his
now.
His auto attack damage, though, is not very impressive that way.
Stomp. Oh, just barely out of time for crit. It's 20 seconds with Roche respawning as well. Good split push happening across the map for Wings. Yeah, kiting this Fen, but obviously at some point you have to imagine if he goes for the Aghanim Scepter for the Venomancer, it's just too good of an item to pass up. But
especially with Chrono, you kind of if you get a good Chrono, you guarantee can hit the Poison Nova on everyone in the team fights.
Yep.
But I think this more speaks to Notel struggling a bit to farm and feeling like he's constantly being threatened. And the supports are not going to save Notel. Like, they're going to be exclusively focused. Everyone will be exclusively focused on trying to save Huskar. So he's got to be a little more independent with his items.
Roshan is now up and alive, and there's no real vision for either team over towards that pit, with the one exception being that ward on the dire side of the river. And OG, they have the gem. Notel should have seen it, actually. He just walked right past it for some reason.
Probably had his camera elsewhere.
Yeah, good chance that that's the case.
Maybe keeping an eye on this top lane as it is pushed all the way in.
Yeah, they're lucky no one's up there. They could easily send that Tinker up there and have him go to work on that tower, and it looks like that's going to be the case.
The worry for OG is that Wings will have a BKB on Shadow almost certainly in this next fight.
Yeah. He doesn't have it quite yet, but he's getting there.
He's 2,600 gold, and they are... If you had to put a percentage on it, what would you say? I would say probably like 80% magic damage.
That's an illusion. That is very unfortunate.
Oh, the ROTK lasso from Faith Beyond. It's not the longest cooldown, but they need to get out.
So what was your question regarding the BKB?
Oh, like what percentage of OG's damage is going to be magic versus physical? I think it's probably like 80% magic. If I put a number on it, it's
Burning Spears are magical damage as well. Yeah. So, I mean, Poison Sting, I think, physical, I believe.
No, it's magic as well.
Magic as well. So, you have Time Lock on top of that. I mean, almost everything is magical damage.
But they've got an Alpha Wolf, so it's okay.
But
that's where BKB cuts you down pretty damn hard.
I don't know how you kite a 10-second BKB Sven. You can't. I mean, that's the whole point of the BKB to begin with, I think.
So he's going to get BKB, and then I think basically if Sven gets the Silver Edge MKB, I think the game's over. Barring him just throwing his life away for nothing, but if he's able to even hit 3 or 4 times in a fight, Huskar is dead, and likely several supports with him, so OG operating on a bit of a clock, at least it looks to be the case. And Notel also not farming that well, Moon isn't farming that well, no one is itemizing for late game, there's no Midas on the Void, nobody else is letting carry items. It's really all focused on this timing for OG.
I thought they would go that round and go for Midas, but I think if they go late game, they have to deal with the Tinker, and you already talked about them dealing with the Tinker is almost an impossibility. And then it's Sven,
he has no fear. How often have you seen a Tinker just... He's always pushing at towers with all 5 OG heroes missing. He's just not afraid.
I think they know something's up, perhaps, for Wings, and that's why they're sitting in the tree line.
Something is indeed up.
Yeah, the smoke has come out for OG. They're sitting in the top lane. The creep wave is pushing, and they're probably going to look towards the tier 2 tower. It's the last outer tower of the game for Wings. You talked about operating on a clock, and that's to be sure, but if they fight into this 10-second BK beat Sven, then I have a bad feeling about OG in this next fight.
And, Wings will defend high ground. Don't expect them to leave the base. And buybacks are still important here, so quickly checking Radiant side, only a Batrider buyback.
If they lose that Sven, then they somehow lose that Sven. I don't want to make it sound it's like going to be miraculous. But
OG feeling like they have to go now. They're not going to wait for the AC on Miracle. He's got 2,600 gold and a plate mail. He's close, Mod, but he doesn't have it yet.
Does not. He's getting closer and closer as we move forward.
God, good luck pushing into
He is ag now.
Ugh.
They saw the rockets, they are like, well,
the pain.
The laser's going to come out and it's just going to take down everybody.
Even with an Oracle behind a Huskar, this is still tough going.
He'll start to do some damage to the tower, he'll get Stormhammer, no BKB for the Huskar himself. Ice Ice is coming in with maybe a knife. Stomp's going to miss, Ice Ice will narrowly dodge it. Laser, that is a dead Miracle, I believe.
Well, they're tempted to go in.
Good Fate's Edict.
They are tempted to crack that Aegis.
That Fate's Edict saved Miracle's life. Very close. 2 minutes for that Aegis still.
They're not doing... Actually, they did decent damage to the tower.
Here we go, though. The wraparound from Wings. They're going to lead the way with the Batrider. Can they get a Blink Lasso?
They want to lasso the Oracle here.
Oh, Fly's in trouble. He's going to get caught. They're going to bring him back, and now he can't false promise himself. Stormhammer, and here comes the Sven LD.
Oh, God, it's wrecking time to Shadow. Straight into the Yule Scepter. They're going to ignore the Huskar for now. Come back to him. A triple kill for Big Daddy Shadow. Miracle down as well. A wipe. And somehow Huskar salvage the fight.
I'd say no. He's silenced up, Stormhammered, blocked down in place. It's an ultra kill for Shadow when it's all said and done.
He's hitting from a 600 and attack with Bloodlust. And I think OG have officially missed their timing.
Well, I'd say so. That is an understatement, and now OG are about to get 2-0'd by Wings.
He's got a Silver Edge now if he wants it. I assume he'll complete the Silver Edge next. He could get a Blink. Like, even though you have Shadow, Blink is much more reliable initiation.
Is there any way for OG to get back into this game right now? I mean, they just don't have the late game in comparison to Wings.
They have very little. They have heroes that could go late game, like if Veno went Ags, or like often we used to see Midas Veno into Ags. If he went for a greedier build, if the Void went for a greedier build, I would say then OG has decent late game, some potential, but given the way they've itemized, I think it's extremely unlikely they will win in a straight up late game fight.
So we see the replay coming in, and it's just the lasso. They really needed that false promise, but Fly gets caught, and then you can see Shadow come in for the backside. He immediately, and they line up for him too.
And the silence of Moon there was also really big. Very well played by the Innocent Skyreth Mage. So they have no Chrono to reset the fight. They have no Oracle to keep the Huskar alive, and then Shadow just gets to kill everyone. Just Wings having the perfect idea about how to execute the fight, getting off all their spells, and from there, there's just nothing OG can really do.
And so they're already one victory in their belt with Wings in this group. They're both tied 4-3 as we stand right now. Already though, EG I think sitting at the top, sitting 6-2 currently. And so this is getting to be a tougher and tougher group day by day right now, with Wings taking this game over OG, which is a high possibility after that last engagement. It could be very troublesome for OG. However, the game is not over yet. Moon is still farming rather well, with of course the Huskar now finishing up his Assault Cuirass. However, there has been a newly picked up Blink Dagger for Shadow, I believe.
No, it's a Silver Edge.
Silver Edge. Okay, yeah.
And 1400.
He can get a Blink Dagger if he wants pretty soon.
Yeah, I think he'll go MKB. Just so he can be the ultimate king tank in the fights. But we'll see. There's lots of good spend items. And I don't think they're going to have that much trouble killing the Huskar, even with the evasion. Though KB is the guaranteed way to maximize your damage output. He could go tankier, the Heart or the Satanic.
It's only 25% evasion. I mean, we talk about evasion a lot and how
it's no butterfly, but it's still pretty good.
A lot of the damage is still being done elsewhere as well. I mean, we always talk about, and again, Berserker's Blood's very good, don't get me wrong, but if Fly is dead, they can kill him through magic damage, honestly.
The tricky thing for Fly is he's got to sit very far back, but he's up against the Bat Rider. And so they'll likely have the vision advantage as the game moves along. We see a gem now in Innocence, like that pick a lot. OG don't have the same level of dewarding potential. So inside the base, sure they'll be fine, but when you go out on the map against the Bat Rider team with the gem and you don't have one, you're gonna have a tough time ensuring your Oracle stays alive and gets off a good Fate's Edict.
Well, right now, Wings have slowed this game down a fair bit. They have Bat Rider in a position looking for a Blink Lasso for whoever decides to defend that top lane with OG. They could use a couple more towers. That mid-tier 2 and bottom tier 2 for Wings still standing allows OG to be able to farm a bit more and stay in this game despite the spend having a pretty serious net worth advantage and the Tinker getting to that point. But OG are looking...
It's easy to forget that there is a Tinker in this game.
Right. I mean,
the Sven's getting all the highlights. He's the big hitter, but Tinker is buying them time. Tinker eventually gets very scary in his own right. He can just burst the crap out of the Oracle.
There's that Dagon, and this is where he starts getting scary, LG.
He will also have eyes for Fly.
Yeah.
Likely not going to try to nuke down Miracle. Maybe it will blind him, but...
He needs to avoid the Fate's Edict. That's the only problem, is it's the 100% magic resistance. So,
well, you got to cast it first, and good Tinkers can combo their spells in very short succession. So
absolutely.
Assuming he gets it off, though, it is something to keep in mind.
Moon will pick himself up a Yasha for what will be more than likely a Manta style to Manta out of #1 the Ancient Seal, and #2 to just have some extra damage in a Chronosphere team fight.
Yeah, that's a really good. Ancient Seal was the nail in the coffin for that last team fight. Maybe if he got off a good Chrono, they could have turned it, but without it, there was no chance. So he needs a way to deal with this. BKB would be an option. I guess Lincolns would be an option. We've actually seen Wings go for the Lincolns on Void before, but Manta has the easier build up for free. And also scales a bit better in the late game.
Progress through another long game. Looks to be getting up to at least 40 minutes so far. OG will go for Roche again. We'll give them some more time, but it is going to be Wings move together, not under the guys of smoke, but just as a whole, moving across the map. And
Shadow's not coming with them though. He's heading top. I don't know if Wings care that much if OG get an Aegis. Looks like they don't want to risk.
Although they have the Batrider coming over here, and he's looking for another flame break. And again, it was close to having that good flame break like he had the first time around, but no such luck. And they look at the Aegis again for Miracle. No surprises there. It's the second overall Roshan, so no cheese.
They want to fight against the Aegis when it was a dead even game, and now they're up 8,000 gold, and their lineup scales.
Oh, it was cheese. It was the third Roshan. I spoke too soon.
Ooh, yeah. Will cheese matter? Probably not. There's the Feno as extra mana. He's gonna get off one Poison Nova, but maybe they could pass it to the Huskar. Probably the main big play OG could make.
He just ate it. I believe. He literally just ate that cheese.
Did he really?
He did. No Tail just ate the cheese. Unless it's on the courier.
Uh-oh.
It's not. I heard that cheese noise that you get when you eat it. Ow. And I was like, well, unless either he was getting killed by the Tigger, which there's a slight possibility, or
he was just hungry.
He just was hungry at that point and he wanted to eat
I don't think cheese really matters for OG anyway, so.
Well, they come out for one. They'll move across the map together. There's no one down in the bottom lane, but they will be able to push into that 2 tower. They want to go for that particular choice. They get up towards top or maybe push in mid. There's a lot of options here. So far, it looks like the heading for Wings is currently the right of the map and into that bottom lane.
So they get a Lotus Orb here. They have a lot of ways to deal with the Batrider lasso now. And another tool to help keep the Huskar alive. It's still going to be tough though, Mott. All it takes is really just the Sven getting 4 or 5 auto attacks off. The whole team will be dead. Remember, they push now into a very scary Tinker. Dagon could be leveled up significantly.
Hey, what level is this? I think
it's level 3 if he wants to buy, but he is saving for buyback, which is definitely the safe play for Blink here.
They all have buyback, I would imagine. Spent the Batrider as well as the Tinker having it at this point, whereas it's only that Huskar
on the dire side.
Void. Stomp onto Ice, or Ice, excuse me, not Ice.
And the laser. So Miracle trying to back out. They couple hundred points of damage to the tower.
It's a good chip, but it's just not enough. Here comes Shadow walking up the Stormhammer. He's got Aegis. Good loaded perform. I think they false promised as well. In fact, they did.
But he didn't commit anything. He just committed a Silver Edge cooldown. That's it. No BKB, no God Strength. Siege is over for OG. If they stay around and Sven goes in again, they're going to get crushed. So they have to wait for this false promise.
They're going to go back mid instead, and No-Tail's going to clear this out and look to get towards his next item. He gets a Lotus Orb, by the way.
This just shows why Wings this just shows why Wings didn't really care that much about the Roche, right? Like, they know, even with an Aegis, OG are still going to have a very hard time doing anything with it.
Oh, Moon. Good time walk. He was very close to getting burst. Crit trying to chase him down. Stop. Again, it's going to be too short. He has the Yules instead. The stop will go. Blink going down here would be huge. They've got Tortoise Spirit. He's going to use it. The Earth Splitter will come out. Him Blink is in trouble and dies to Crit's giant ultimate. That was a great catch from the Yule Scepter and a little bit of too much aggression from that mid lane.
Now they find Ice mid. Wings getting sloppy here, thinking it's a one game. But it ain't entirely over yet. And that hero does not have buyback. No Ogre for
about a minute.
50 seconds.
Yeah.
Tinker may have to buy better. I don't think they can defend without Tinker.
They need March. And Sven, as much damage as he can do on his own, with a 9-second BKB duration, it's going to be close. I don't think he can quite do it on his own. There's the buyback coming through. Now do OG proceed or...
Yeah, they want to go to top. That's the lower HP tower. They don't have to creep wave here, though, so they're only going to have this one moment to siege it. Does get in time, but Shadow's working on him.
He's going to connect on him. Flame Break coming through. Miracle pushback, and that Aegis is gone with the Stormhammer and Laser coming out. They have no Chrono again. Yule Scepter will come through. Time walk out. Time dilation. There's the last. He has good false promise. Jump in. Faith Beyond might be in trouble. Mist Flare is already down. And Faith Beyond's low. Will die to the Poison Sting. Stomp is up. Shadow's BKB. Not doing enough. The false promise was great. They're going to work in the right. Shadow's going to be back in.
But Satanic is down now. He needs evasion. Can Miracle stay alive? Not going to happen. Oh, it was close, though. It really was.
They killed just about everyone in that fight. Tinker gets himself a triple kill with that laser and how it reflects.
OG did everything they could there. They Lotus Orbed the lasso. The Huskar had the evasion procs and Satanic his way through the initial God Strength auto attack barrage. They slow down the fight as much as possible. They get the pick off on Tinker beforehand. They force out the buyback. They just didn't have anything left in the tank after that initial barrage. And once all those cooldowns are gone, Sten just wins the man fight against Huskar. A really good flame break to catch him out. Now Blink out of control. 4 kills in a row for the Tinker player. And with that, he continues to spam Dagon's recipes. Now a level 4 Dagon with the Aether Lens as well.
Might even get an Imperial Blade later on down the road, but at this point, you know, I don't think it's that bad for OG. I mean, they forced out the buyback, like you said, for the Tinker. He's down. If he dies again, he's dead for a good 100 seconds or so, maybe a little bit less. And then you just have to deal with the spin, and BKB's getting lower and lower as we speak, LD, so...
It's not that bad in the sense that, like, they did everything they could, but I still feel like it's pretty bad in terms of their chances of winning.
Yeah.
They really need to kill the Tinker and try to take an objective while he doesn't have buyback. But if he's allowed to just get buyback for free, it's very tough. And OG recognizes they have Chrono up, Travis. They're moving in.
They are looking for a fight. Blink will be the first to TP away. Innocence and Shadow walking out. They really want more than just the support. They would like Shadow to begin with. Faith Beyond as well would be a nice pickup.
They're all getting out of there. There is no TP on Shadow though. I don't. Maybe OG saw that. Oh, sorry, he's got BOTs now. What am I talking about?
And Faith Beyond will be able to TP out as well. So. Yeah, they might have just seen the smoke. I mean, they smoked pretty much right underneath the tier 3 tower. Yeah. When there was creeps still just about there, so maybe it was seen by the creeps, but I don't think it was the case.
Well, that just shows you how desperate OG is and how little faith they have in their late game. They know they need to be making moves now. Huskar has reached his pinnacle. He doesn't really get much bigger from here. He can buy moon shards. He can replace some of these items, but in a man fight against a Sten, he's just not going to win, and especially not when there's a Tinker backing that Sten up who's incredibly farmed. Void is just not anywhere near carry status. Elder Titan is a good scaling support, but I think Warcry, Waynes have good solutions for the Elder Titan, and your Venomancer is... It feels like utility Venomancer. It doesn't feel like one that can take the game over. So, Waynes calming down now, feeling confident. They could honestly farm for 10-15 more minutes, and they may want to completely max out the Sven's inventory, to get more farm on the Tinker, to ensure they have buyback, maybe to try and take the next Roche. Hell, Ogre can get an Aghanim Scepter. He's closing in on that, so I don't think Waynes are in any hurry, and rushing it is where they could potentially throw the game.
But that's what we saw earlier when the Ogre died, when Blink died, when he got caught out in Blink. Oh man, he almost finished that TP. In fact, they might think he did. They might think he TP'd and blinked across the tree line, but...
Yeah, they know the Tinker dieback is the key.
And they're waiting for it. Oh, man, he keeps doing it.
I feel like
he knows. I feel like Blink knows.
He definitely knows. He's like, hey, guys, I'm coming bottom. Really? Coming bottom. Not really. Toying with OG.
He goes mid instead.
Almost taunting them, I want to say.
God, that's so frustrating for OG. I mean, they're in a great position to kill him if he walks up, if he goes to that bottom lane, but it's just... Look how far away he is now. He's going to come up in March, but...
He should only be going with the team. As I say that, though, he goes bottom, but it's much farther back. That's a more difficult place for OG to get to without being scouted, and he's already back to the top lane.
And now with the smoke coming out from Wings, they're looking to... Yes, they're going to push out top quickly. And if they don't find anything up here, they can just surprise and go for the base. They probably won't, though. Again, like you talked about, they want to farm. Roche is up, and OG might get it again. And again, you've talked about this numerous times, and they don't really care that OG are getting Roche.
It's still important for OG, but it's more OG needed to have a chance. Wings, if they get it, are just in total control of the game.
Ogre has an Aghanim Scepter.
This time, though, Travis, this time Wings are moving that way.
It's too late. They can't get there in time, but they can split push top effectively.
They have vision on fly. This is kind of tempting. They know where the Oracle is, and the Bat's hunting him.
Or there's the Yule Scepter. Fly might get caught. Chrono Spears ready for Moon. Fly. Shadow gets just blown away with, of course, his right-click damage is too much, and Moon will follow suit.
And now Miracle down in the river. He's isolated. He's getting blown up by an Oracle and Skywrath Mage. They almost kill poor Miracle.
Got a Satanic ready. It's 1 for 2 right now. BKB TP, no way to stop it. And Shadow will get out, and he was getting rather low. It's a nice play, getting 2 kills from Shadow. God Strength, it was used there, down for 64 seconds. BKB as well, now down to 7.
Yeah, they can't do anything, though. No Chrono, no Oracle. They need all 5 for OG to siege.
Absolutely. They're back up at 33 seconds. Burt will take some serious damage from this March. He needs to be careful, because if there's TP in there, he's just dead to at least a Dagon, if not more.
I mean, that's what I mentioned earlier. If they have Vision of Oracle, they're almost certainly going to jump him. There's really nothing Fly can do about it unless he has a super quick reaction on the blink, and then he's just dead. And now that Batrider has a Yules, if he sees you, he's just going to blink Yules you, you take damage, you can't blink out, and you're going to die. So tough game for Fly at this point when he's outside his own base, and even within his own base. There's still like cheeky moves you can do on the side lanes, wrapping around behind the trees and ambushing him anyway.
Boots of Travel picked up now for the Huskar to be able to move around the map a bit more effectively. We do see an ultimate orb for the Venomancer. What are you thinking? I mean, there's only a couple of options, obviously, one of them being a Linked Sphere. Scotty would be very, very surprising to see that. Hector probably.
Oh, Moon!
Oh my god, he just respawned. He dies.
He's dead. He's already dead, guys.
He actually had enough for buyback before he came back into the lane. Now he doesn't, but it'll be up in like 10 seconds anyways. Actually,
stop hitting him.
Poor Moon. He had some good chronos this game, but it's just not enough.
Shadow Soldier. Oh, bottom lane.
Laxo's gonna come through. They will penetrate, although based beyond slope, Dagon laser.
It's no tail next.
Yeah, they're gonna die to the Mystic Flare. Crit's gonna limp away, but only for a moment. As Blink comes in, shoots him down with the laser. Zap, zap, indeed. 3 dead now. Crit with no buyback. Luckily, No Tail does have it, but Miracle is going to have to do some work along with Fly on their own. And this is where this game is starting to get close to, I think, ending here for OG.
I think this is going to take 2 thrown fights in a row from Wings. Will they throw any?
Well, Miracle, he did halberd up 1 in his Shadow, and Stormhammer will go. Miracle will take damage. He still has his Satanic. God's Strength is up. Shadow still has his BKB. Another laser coming through, and Miracle continues to take damage.
He can't even walk into the fight. He has no counter for the laser, and now Tigger's at the point where he can constantly spam it, constantly prevent him from auto-attacking. It is looking real bleak for OG. Look at how patiently Wings are playing this. They're going to push out those other lanes, reset a bit. Honestly, I think they could have stuck around, but with the Veno, the Elder Titan respawning, why take the risk? They lost some games they probably feel they shouldn't have yesterday. 2-0 against TNC, the main thing that combined. So ensuring a clean 2-0 against OG, with EG doing as well as they are in the group, as you pointed out, that's really important for the
It's just Wings has OG's number somehow. For some reason, OG cannot get over this Wings hump, and luckily
it's
they
like the same way. It's funny. We have like this kind of rocks paper scissors thing going on, where Navi just can't seem to figure out how to deal with OG, and well, now Navi's struggling against a lot of teams, it appears. But
yes,
certain teams are there are just bad matchups for some teams in Dota, and this. I think OG can beat Wings. I don't think they're a worse team, but no. I do feel like, for whatever reason, Wings is just a difficult opponent.
There's just something about the draft or the playstyle that Wings has that OG simply can't get over.
And they're very unpredictable.
Yeah.
That support lane...
No, that was support out of left field as it gets, I think, in that situation, and it worked. It worked beautifully. It was
their MVP. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, like sometimes you'll pick that unusual hero.
It wasn't some cheeky thing,
and you win in spite of it. They won because of the support.
The adaptive strike, and we saw it. Like that's why it was picked up in the off lane for so long. It's because it had that long duration stun and was obviously a lot of, Universe played it a fair bit. We got to see it a lot in the NA region, but that was played in the off lane. To see it in a support role and to have the farm that he had was incredible. So Wings clearly very comfortable with all of these crazy picks, including the Skywrath Mage this time around, which has done some work, obviously, not as much as they would have, I think, liked, but
he won them that fight top when he silenced the Void. And so I think just for that alone, Innocence has made his mark on the game.
Yep. Wings are now sitting comfortably at a 15, almost 20,000 net worth advantage and continuing to just choke OG out of their base pretty much and say, listen, if you want to come fight, you could try. We have great vision. You're pushing in every single corner. There's not much you can do here, and Aegis is, well, it's not going to do much for you guys as it's gone for Miracle and No Tail. Do they have the cheese is the question. Who picked it up? Don't have the cheese. They did.
This is a lactose intolerant team.
And they must have eaten it again or something, I don't know. But
doesn't matter. They're lactose intolerant anyway.
Bloodstone now picked up for the Tinker, so he's got mana regeneration. The Wazoo no longer needing the bottle.
Top lane though, they do find the Tinker.
He's going to be stopped, and Blink is in trouble. They need more help. The Earth Splitter will come out next. It'll hit.
Suicide.
The Chronosphere coming out. He won't be able to Bloodstone. He's going to go down. Crit gets the kill. Another good pick-off, but the Bloodstone respawn time is only 60 seconds, and he does have buyback. And how much does that actually give them, LD?
They don't have Aegis. Buybacks available on 3 heroes, including the Tinker. OG might try to push, but I don't think they can break the base. Another pick or two, or the Tinker being forced to buy back and then dying again, then things are different. But look at Base Beyond.
They know that he's like making his way. They saw him with an Observer Ward, but he's CPing through.
Hello.
He will make it out in time. They just didn't have
So much space created. All right, they're definitely not pushing.
That wasn't like they all rotated over there.
Does he know they have this ward? He might know they have the hill ward.
They would know now, I think.
That's a very common anti-Tinker ward. So
what did he do that play for to begin with?
Yeah.
Miracle.
Well, he's trying to waste their time. They just want to cut waves, slow down OG, and wait out this Tinker respawn. And they're about to be done waiting it out.
If this was anybody other than Shadow, I would say Miracle could find this kill. Unfortunately, it is Shadow.
Shadow will destroy him in a 1v1.
Shadowblade comes out, and now they're trying to fight. And you can see Brady's going to get Yule's up at this point in time. He's in trouble. Flame break back, and here comes Shadow without the God's Drink, mind you. He's still doing some serious work. Stock comes out. They had used the false promise on Crit. They get off the ulti from the Veno. The jump in. Shadow's BKB is going to work. They have Satanic on both of these heroes.
He's waiting on that Silver Edge, though. The Silver Edge, a couple seconds to go.
He's got the Satanic of this man fight. He still has the Satanic. He's getting low. The Burning Spears. He's about to die and will. He's got buyback. Meanwhile, the Tinker's March is going to work. They have lost Fly. Moon comes in, still has the Chronosphere, but he's out of mana.
Oh, he didn't get the Silver Edge off on the Huskar. That completely changes that engagement, and Miracle, very difficult to deal with at that point. OG do fight the kill. He's got buyback.
They want to force it, definitely.
Radiant buybacks, they have 4 right now. There are 4 on the Dire. Wayne's getting sloppy here down the stretch. Feeling like the game is in hand. No God Strength for 30.
They're losing the Venomancer ultimate, but that's up in 60 or 50 seconds, and Miracle will continue to pressure. They would probably like to get the top lane of Brax, but they want a tier 3 instead, and they're doing some serious work with the Assault Cuirass. The Anna Vitality will come out, False Promise will be up when he's alive in 15 seconds. Still, they're missing their Oracle. Big detriment to this fight. March will come through, Stomp hits some of his Faith Beyond. They take down the tier 3 tower, LD. Look at this Brax falling low, Lash is going to come out. There comes a nice Lotus Orb. Those lasers will come through in the Mystic Flare. They're jumping in. They get the Chrono onto flank. Can they get it done?
Sven's forced to buy back. He has her, and he's got his whole combo ready. Can he turn this fight the way he did earlier? Top moves running. Miracle's running. Shadow on the chase, but he doesn't have that much mobility. Missiles raining in, but they managed to find the Elder Titan, so 3 do fall. They hold the high ground, but it cost them a double core buyback. And they lost a range rack to the tier 3.
Oh my god.
Sven was so close to respawning there. He needs an MKB at this point.
They just have to kill Shadow and Blake one more time and they win the game. That's all that it takes at this point.
Well, that was one throne fight. Will there be a second?
Yeah, exactly.
He's not buying MKB.
He went Assault Cuirass.
Oh, he needs an MKB.
More than likely, I would say. Although, again, the evasion, it's only 25%. It is still significant.
It definitely screwed him in that fight.
Absolutely.
In the fight mid. Taker is able to keep the Huskar blinded. It's okay at that point, because Huskar won't be hitting either, but I still think you get MKB here.
Suddenly, Miracle is at the top of the net worth chart, seemingly out of nowhere. And he has 4,000 gold, and he's roughly 6 slotted. I mean, you can get rid of your armlet and get something else, like a heart or something. I don't know, maybe not a heart, but I don't know what you pick up as a Huskar at this point in time. You can get a Moon Shard.
Moon Shards.
Probably.
Halberd could be replaced by, I don't know, a Butterfly eventually, especially with Sven not getting maybe, but that's looking pretty far off, because he still wants to... Faith is saving for buyback. That is really what matters for Miracle right now.
How much surplus does he have? 3,800. He's going to buy something here, it looks like, or he's just running to the Ancients, one of the two. Okay.
So checking Roche.
He's just going to run to the Ancients. Roche is, by the way, up in roughly 10 seconds, maybe a little bit less.
Do Waynes want to risk contest? They have a DD Sven, sure.
They risk contesting and they lose the Sven or Blink or both of them. The game ends, I think, unless they should have all on buyback on OG.
OG have 3. No Oracle buyback, no Void buyback.
Void buyback is kind of important. Yeah, they can't contest this. It looks like they don't want to anyway.
Well, the 3 Aegis and cheese for OG. What happens to this cheese? The tale of the cheese chronicles.
Please don't need it. You really need the cheese, guys. I think Moon's gonna get one of these items more than likely the Aegis.
Is this episode 3 of the cheese chronicles?
And then No Tail will get the cheese. He's already eaten it once.
The cheese. Return of the cheese. Revenge of the cheese.
You know, we might be giving them slack because I feel like Tinker must have been doing like some damage then, and they might have actually needed to use the cheese, and we just haven't seen.
All right, well, revenge of the cheese this time.
Yeah, we'll
No
see.
tail is going to hang on to it for now. Shadow, no buyback. There's a Blink Chrono available. They're just assuming there's people behind Shadow. Otherwise, they would have jumped him there, I think, with the Chrono. If he was alone, he could have just died there, and the game could potentially be over. But
What
instead,
a Blink Dagger. That was insane. He was waiting for it. Faith Beyond about to last. So
but
that
they're
was a
looking
great
on the
play.
Sven.
Moon comes in. He actually gets off the Chronosphere onto the Sven Shadow. Earthsplit is going to come through next. No BKB. They get up the Hex in time. He might go down. He's got no buyback if he falls. And he's dead. That's it. Ice might be next as well. Everyone low for OG from the March, but 103 seconds without that Sven.
Instant Abyssal, or instant Basher purchase for Miracle, and OG have, like you said, 100 seconds to try and punish this grave error. And now, to add to their woes, there's a second Hex on OG. What was nearly a 20,000 gold lead, a better late game lineup, and complete control of the map is quickly evaporating.
We've said it so many times. The Wings, they just need to make sure they don't beat themselves, and they're doing that right now.
OG, don't get me wrong. OG are making
extraordinarily well.
they're making good plays here down the stretch, but some sloppiness from Waves could come back to haunt them as OG move in.
They're going to try to go for the engagement, looking to take down this first set of racks of the game, and Miracle will do the job. Cliff, it is not there, I don't believe, and they will take it down. And as one set of racks, they'll move up to top. Miracle and Moon, they're going to work. They still have Satanic up for Miracle. They should have false promise. The laser comes out. Moon, time walking all that damage. And the melee racks top lane, more than likely about to fall, and it will.
Until they initiate the fight. Oh, it's a double!
The Mystic Slayer, they do take down one, and that is going to be Fly in the Oracle. Moon might be next, though, and Miracle. The laser comes through. They have to get out.
Sven's up in 20. 2 lanes of racks down. Don't see Wings tapping out until the throne is dropped with how good their late game is, but Miracle stands his ground. He's going to heal up on the creeps. Ice likely wants to go back in. A fresh volley of missiles coming forth. Sven respawning at 10. That is the cue for OG to back out. 2 lanes, critical damage, but not entirely fatal. They now have a 2 lanes of racks edge at 55 minutes.
2 more minutes for buyback for both Tinker as well as the Sven. I don't know if they go again in the next 2 minutes. It's very tough. And that lasso, the double lasso was incredible. Sure, they got the kill on the Oracle, but didn't do nearly enough. They needed the Sven. If that's a double lasso with a Sven there, they cleave down both of those heroes. They're just dead, but...
I think he's going to just straight up lose fights to Miracle now. Miracle has the Abyssal Blade, Shadow's HD. It helps the team a bit, but to me, he needs an MKB and or an Abyssal of his own. And the item that has proven to be underwhelming in this game is the Silver Edge. He's rarely gotten it off on the Sven in fights. OG always have detection.
Oh, his MKB is about to be completed as well.
So he's going to get rid of the armlet here.
He needs not saving for buyback right now. Even he's going to have it, like I said, in like now about a minute and a half. And if he buys this Demon Edge,
it still all just comes down to initiation. Like even if he has MKB, if they chrono him and Hutskar's hitting him the whole time and then Abyssals him, they have double hex. Like Shadow can be just controlled for days. There's no Linked Sphere, there's no Lotus Orb on Wings. They don't have a great defensive support. So even with an MKB, Sven in a team fight could easily die from full HP to nothing. So it all comes down.
Oh, Miracle has a double damage rune, and this is a critical time to pause, apparently for Faith Beyond. And this is maybe do or die. They know the timing on these buybacks, and still with about 45 seconds or so. Sven will not have it regardless.
What a time for a pause.
So, as we said, Sven will not have it regardless. The Tinker will have it in 46 seconds. This
series has gone over 2 hours of gameplay, not counting the draft time. It's been probably, 140, 150 minutes of Dota just for 2 games, showing you just how evenly matched Wings and OG really are. Already, this has been such a treat. I really hope these teams play on the next stage. And I hope we get the same back and forth level of Dota, but still hangs in the balance, Mott. I really think whoever gets the better initiation wins these fights. OG have more insurance policies, though, because they have the double hex, they have the Lotus Orb, the Linked Sphere. They also have the buyback advantage with 5 buybacks to 1, and A lot of just defensive abilities.
Double damage.
They have the edge, they have the Rax advantage. This is going to take a really good fight from Wings to turn it around.
Miracle is chopping down his tower, spearing it down with his double damage rune that's going to run out.
Wraparound might take too long. Oh, they're going to glyph. Miracle likely just going to back. No, this is counter smoke.
No Tail has been found out first. He gets the Hex off in time, and No Tail, he gets off the ultimate. There's the Chronos Field, hits on the Shadow and Face Beyond.
And Miracle just getting blinded by Blake. He's going to TP out, but the Abyssal cancels it. They're going to lose the Tinker here.
They might lose Megas as well. Tinker trying to TP out, cannot make it in time. He's down for 83 seconds. Sven the Hex again, and Moon will try to bring it down. Meanwhile, Miracle has got Megas LD.
Innocence now caught in the fountain. OG pulling a rabbit out of the hat. Shadow, can he somehow salvage this fight? He's used all his cooldowns. Miracle's gonna come in and wreck him.
Oh, what a magic style from Moon, and here comes Miracle. Shadow beat-kited, and now the ultra kill from Miracle will almost certainly end the game. And OG,
look at me.
There it is.
I'm the carry now, says Miracle. And OG will salvage what looks like a lost game. Wings are gonna be kicking
the rampage at the end.
And fittingly, he ends it with a rampage, but this was not the Miracle show. This was, more than anything, a team effort by OG and some big blunders by Wings. You have to be very frustrated with how this game ended.